Now, an example of how governments and bureaucracies have tended to divorce themselves from the values of the people who elect them and pay their wages. The trouble is that these so-called elites are driven by political fashion, by virtue signalling, and by desperately hoping that they can avoid some social media backlash over this or that from some radical activist group representing a particular group of people or pronouns. And as a result, well, one of the obvious and most idiotic consequences, they end up denying reality. Just have a listen as Senator Alex Antic asked about pregnancy in a Senate committee last week.
Senator Waters used the phrase pregnant persons twice, and I think in response the department used the phrase birthing clinics. Is it the position of the department that men can get pregnant and give birth?
Senator,
I'm sorry to do this to you.
yeah, I mean, really.
But we need an answer. You are the Department of Health, but people put a lot of emphasis in this.
And you need to get pregnant and give birth, you need to have a functioning uterus. So whatever you call someone, and it's generally very unlikely that someone who is a man would have a uterus and give birth. So I think that's all we can really say.
So only biological women can get pregnant?
Well, you have to have functioning female reproductive organs to get pregnant and give birth. Yeah.
Which would limit it only to women, presumably. No.
Look, sometimes when there's a particularly shocking story, I let you know to perhaps get the kids out of the room. I should have told you to bring the kids in the room for this one because there was a free biology lesson through Senate estimates. Look, this is silly stuff, but it is worth exposing because the reason they won't use terms like pregnant women or mothers and the like is because they worry about offending a tiny cohort of the population, an activist cohort, kicking up a storm. So instead they insult women, they torture the language and no doubt confuse our kids.
You have to be biologically female. Different language is used because obviously individuals may choose to represent themselves as different from their birth gender. So that's why we talk about pregnant persons. But I think it's pretty obvious you need to have a functional uterus to be able to carry a pregnancy.
Right. Okay.
I'm with the Senator. Follow the science, they all say, except when they want to deny the science. Just another example of your taxes at work.